Hello guys. Welcome to Top Anime Sensei. This video is the continuation video after our last video. So if you have not watched it, then please watch it. The link is in the description. And please check out my second channel Anime Sum Up for the amazing recaps of different anime. So without any further delay, let's start. But before we start, please like, subscribe and press the bell icon so you don't miss the updates. Granbell Rosso. That old man is the head of the 5 great elders, leader of the Rosso family. So that's who he is. I suddenly realized upon hearing the explanation. Maria, go find Luminos-sama and bring her here. If she resists, it's fine to kill her. In response to Granbell's words, a woman came out. Her appearance was reminiscent of Mariabelle. A woman in her prime. The two seemed to be related by blood, but I'm not sure whether they were mother and daughter. Answer. Based on genetic analysis, there is no evidence of them being blood-related. How can you tell that just by looking? Never mind. If it weren't coincidence that she looked so much like Mariabelle. The problem would be how strong this woman called Maria was. She didn't look strong enough to fight against Luminos. Was Granbell serious with his command? Understood. Executing order. This woman called Maria didn't even turn her head at us before leaving straight away. Her reaction was very robotic, and it was obvious that she was different from a normal human being. I wasn't sure whether she really was as strong as it seemed, but I figured Luminos would be the one to test that. I just wanted Granbell to leave soon. If we could end this with just a conversation, then it'd be fine. But if I couldn't convince him, I'd take care of him quickly. Granbell-san. Nice to meet you, I am Demon Lord Rimuru. You gotta start a conversation with a greeting. It was hard to build a good relationship at this point, but I still approached in a friendly tone. So you are Demon Lord Rimuru? How dare you kill my Mariabelle? Oi oi oi, it was you guys who… Ah, I see. I was indeed getting flack as well. But Mariabelle's death was purely an accident, and it didn't seem right to blame it on me. Yet if I told him that I didn't mean to kill Mariabelle, it would probably sound like an excuse. To be fair, had Mariabelle not picked on me, it would never have happened. With that being said, Granbell probably wouldn't hear me out. Yuki likely already got to him. At this point, I knew the guy was deceitful, so I could imagine what he would say about me. This was no time for us to negotiate and make peace. Report. Deduced that either way, the two sides are incompatible. Alright, that was the case. Mariabelle was one such example, and I thought this Granbell would be hard to coexist with as well. If that was the case, then I could only use strength to make him yield. Will it even work trying to explain this to you? Let's use strength to decide which side is right. Kukuku, you talk tough. But by the looks of it, you are nothing more than a newbie demon lord. Do you think you can win against me? I'll take care of you later. Meanwhile, just stay put there and watch your friends get beaten down. Did he seriously just call me a newbie demon lord? Wasn't he Luminos's subordinate? This man had quite the ego, right? I supposed he had a point. A monster's strength varied depending on the amount of time they had lived. But shouldn't you at least be a bit cautious against a demon lord? I guess this grandpa was a lot more conceited than I expected. Some people ran out to challenge Granbell. There is no need for Hinata-sama and Demon Lord Rimuru Dono to strike. Head Priest Gran, we shall be your opponents. Nicolaus shouted. Wasn't he some big shot higher up? Ah. Now I remember, Cardinal Nicolaus was the one who set the trap to capture Granbell and used disintegration on him. No wonder why he was self-assured. Someone responded to Nicolaus's call. It was the 3 captains of the Holy Knight Order. They were Vice Commander Leonard, Captain Arnaud, and Rites. Fritz and Bacchus were currently away, training in the labyrinth. Had I known that something like this would happen. Ah. I forgot that I wasn't one to be dishing out judgment here. Hinata-sama. Please sit tight and watch me in action. With Nicolaus's order, Leonard sprang into action. In addition, Arnaud and Rites began assaulting Granbell at the same time. Were the 3 captains buying time for Nicolaus to cast the deadly disintegration? This attack plan seemed a bit over the top, but that probably just meant that Nicolaus was on maximum alert against Granbell. Leonard was using his elegant sword arts to distract Granbell. Arnaud understood right away and cooperated with Leonard's strikes. Rites was on the side, providing support for the two. Under normal circumstances, with these 3 coordinating attacks, it'd be a guaranteed victory. Yet when pitted against Granbell, he seemed to be handling it all with ease. What's worse was that Granbell seemed uninterested in interrupting Nicolaus's chanting, and instead, used smooth and almost ballet-like strikes against the three. There was not a shred of panic on his face. He barely broke a sweat taking on the three's attacks. He is on a completely different level, I thought to myself. Nicolaus's chanting had entered its final verse. He used the chanting to interfere with the physical world and expanded layers of magic circles. Trapped in a prison of light formed by magic circles and mantra, Granbell remained completely unfazed. When the casting of Disintegration was complete, there was no way anyone could defend against the beam of light. The beam would shatter even the soul of the target at lightning speed. Or at least, this was how it should have worked. Yet this common sense was shattered. Very fine chanting. Perhaps this is the best example of one's understanding of the flow of magic, Granbell said in an incredibly cruel tone. The arrogance in his tone sounded like something a teacher would say to a student. And then, hearing his words, Hinata's face turned pale as she muttered, "Could it be?" She seemed to have realized something but wasn't quick enough to inform Nicolaus. Disintegration. A beam of light flashed and went straight for Granbell, but to everyone's surprise, its trajectory changed and was absorbed by the sword in Granbell's hand. It happened all too fast. Even with senses accelerated to 1,000,000 times greater than normal, one would still have a hard time capturing this detail. Yet I knew full well what had just happened. Because I had seen that same exact technique used before. It was the ultimate holy sword art, Melt Slash. The strongest technique developed by Hinata. Everyone, spread out. Heeding Hinata's order, the combatants reacted quickly. The swiftness of their actions did not dishonor their titles, yet they were still too slow. Granbell struck with Melt Slash. This act alone sent out a fan-like shockwave. Hinata dashed out at that instant and blocked Granbell's sword in front of him. Her movement was impressively fast, but that alone was not enough to block Granbell's attack entirely. Hinata took the Melt Slash head-on and was sent flying into Nicolaus. She was fine herself, but Nicolaus sustained heavy injuries. Had Hinata's sword not been the legendary grade Moonlight Rapier, both of them would have been obliterated. The three captains were sent flying away by the shockwave as well and had been lying on the ground since. It looked like that hit knocked them all out. Are you guys alright? Hinata shouted. It went without saying that no one responded. Hinata glared at Granbell while some anxiety showed on her face. Even the usually calm and composed Hinata didn't expect Granbell to be so strong. The one to answer her question was Granbell, who was meant to be her opponent. It seems that I didn't manage to kill anyone. Looks like my skill has weakened over the years. You should thank that demon lord too. What are you talking about? Hinata turned her eyes to me and regained her cool upon realizing something. I see, it was you who saved us, thanks a lot Rimuru. You're welcome, I nodded slightly to Hinata. Indeed, it was thanks to my help that the captains were only knocked out. When I realized what was coming, I activated Absolute Defense. Otherwise, the three would probably have been obliterated. I thought that I could block the attack perfectly, but that turned out to be wishful thinking. The absolute defense of ultimate skill, Covenant King Uriel, could block any attack, although, there were exceptions. For instance, Yuki's anti-skill. I couldn't get overly dependent on it, though its defensive properties were high enough to be trusted. However, even when it was a perfect skill to use on myself, when applied to someone else, in fact, multiple other people, its precision took a hit. For me, it was okay even if some attacks landed, since I had my infinite regeneration. Any injuries would be quickly regenerated, meaning I could achieve perfect defense. But it was different for the three captains. This small amount of shockwave that slipped through my absolute defense sent them to death's doorstep. It was an extremely close call. I never expected anyone other than me to master Melt Slash. That was surprising. Hey, what an arrogant thought Hinata, with enough time and practice, many can reach your level. I mean, I could use it too. Although it was thanks to Raphael San's liberal use of Analyze and Assess, by the way. The condition for utilizing Melt Slash was to first master Disintegration. If there truly were several people who managed to reach that level, then I would have to be impressed by humanity. Actually, now that I thought about it carefully, there was indeed a possibility. There was the hero who managed to seal Veldora. Therefore, there was nothing strange about the existence of powerful humans. Now that I had become a demon lord, it was best that I watch my back around them. But now wasn't the time to have idle thoughts. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. And if you guys have not watched my other videos, then please watch them. The links are in the description. And don't forget to like, subscribe and press the bell icon so you don't miss the updates.